This is Sybert signing in to Kane's Wrath on the map Smashed Dust Bowl for Game 1 of the Christmas Comes Early upper bracket semi-final in the north. This is Futurama. In the south, playing the pink GDI, this is Masterleaf. We have a best of 7 on our hands. We have a whole tournament to look at. And in this case, Christmas comes very, very early. This event was played in early December 2023, and I am only just now getting into it very late now here in March of 2024. And we're going to do things a little bit differently here. This event is going to be covered by me. I'm going to cast all of the games fairly normally, but I'm going to cut it down. So you guys will just see highlights. You guys won't see the whole games. I'm trying something different. And yeah, I might do this more in the future. We'll see. But that's it for now. Bye-bye. So one tib spike for Futurama, that's the normal one on the no poker variant of this map. But on Smashed, we have the safe tib spikes, and then we also have the poker tib spikes. And in this case, Masterleaf got 3 out of the 4. And Black Disciples finishing up right there. Purifying Flame? Purifying Flame? No, of course not. No Purifying Flame for us. Futurama wants to win the game. He doesn't want to be entertaining. Bonk on the Harvester, on the Refinery as well. No follow-up bikes, it seems, from Futurama, so we won't necessarily be able to capitalize on that. Both players going for multi-MCV, but Futurama going to get bonked here on the right side of the map. MCV gets deleted. Meanwhile, on the left side of the map, it's going to be the APCs getting pushed back. The MCV is here, of course. Juggernauts as well. Marv a little bit slow to the front line, but he's out and ready for action now. Meanwhile, it is going to be the bike follow-up. They're not finding Harvesters. Instead, they're finding the Tier 3. Going to be calling in the Vapor Bomb, most likely on top of it as well. Double Watchtower deployed. That's where the APMO was coming in. It's so important to get the APMO for that quick kill, and that is a tightly packed complete reset of the tech for the GDI player. That GDI player just lost Tier 2 and Tier 3 in one fell swoop. A couple of Harvesters will be getting cleaned up here. One goes down. I think a second got eliminated, and this is going to be the Vein Detonation as well. Another Harvester goes down. A couple of APCs as well. That's a ton of damage over at the natural expansion. If you fail, try again, and hopefully the results are different. It's a multi-MCV life for these players. It's not a phase, Dad. The fact that Masterleaf was able to deploy 2 refineries and keep the push going is huge. This buys him so much space and essentially a free expansion. Your defense is this offense, and that is perfect for Masterleaf. His main base, his natural expansion, have not been continued to be assaulted. If he hadn't been able to stop those 2 flame tanks, the story would have been different. But Masterleaf has been able to shut down everything that Futurama tried. Juggernauts might be going down. Yes, they both get eliminated. That's a bit sad for Masterleaf. The Rage Gen going to be potentially hampering their retreat. No, it's just a Black Hand Squad here in the middle of the map. Nothing to worry about there. Rage Gen getting a couple of kills there, distracting the front line of Masterleaf and forcing a little bit of a reset here. Whoa. Hammerhead's now out on the field. Triple Hammerhead to spend that cash. 6 grand in the bank plus 14K per minute for Masterleaf. Well, you better hope you have a couple of Mantises. Rage Gen does fire off. The rockets get jumped on. A couple of these Hammerheads will be going down, but that's going to be an Operation Center deny, as well as the MCV getting sniped. Pretty much everything out of that barracks just gets instantly deleted by these Hammerheads, and the triple airfield Hammerhead transition, you spend 6, 8, 10, 12 grand on Hammerheads, and as it turns out, it's a pretty good build. It's a pretty good strat. and it's going to be Hammerheads all the way. Hammerheads are the salvation of the GDI of Master Leaf. The lights are out time and time again. Insta-snipe on all 3 of those SAM site turrets, and that is just the air defense is gone in a moment. They get barely a volley off. The Mantis gets sniped as well. Master Leaf just overwhelming everything that Futurama has, and not deleting the hubs means that the turret hubs will respawn eventually, but he's got more than enough firepower and more than enough time to cut it off. Master Leaf and Futurama going hard here in game number 1, finding massive damage against each other, and it's going to be another radar jamming missile that fires off. Master Leaf keeping his front line moving forward, now has 2 fresh bases that he can potentially take over with that MCV position, and meanwhile Futurama has to watch his back. He's got the SAM sites, he's got the upgraded power plants, but is it enough to actually stop the Hammerheads right from the beginning? Another Mantis pops out, another SAM site gets deployed, but it's 2 upgraded power plants that are right here on the front line. It's probably going to be lights out once again for Futurama. Master Leaf doesn't even need to take out the power because he knocks down all of the hubs. Another Mantis? Nope, it's a buggy. Instantly deleted here by Master Leaf. Once again finds another kill, and Futurama has so few options remaining. He's got a couple of rocket squads keeping the front line moving forward as much as he can, trying to bring pain and death to Master Leaf, but it's just slower. It's slower in killing buildings. It's slower in crossing the map than these Hammerheads. Hammerhead's going to be formation move, split across, and that's the GG. Futurama takes the first L of this series. It's a best of 5, though. Game 1 doesn't decide it all. It kicks us right into game number 2. Pipeline problems, crane opener for both players, and it was spotted by Futurama. So Futurama knows that this is coming. He is going to lose 1 completely full blue Tiberium harvester, and another harvester will take some damage, but should survive. Unless he's able to pull a real magic trick with these orcas. He's going to be able to find more targets there, and I guess this is the better option. This is where there are more harvesters. He might actually get all 3. No, he won't. And he also won't escape with very many of these orcas. 2 orcas go down. Ooh, 3rd orca gets tagged, but survives. Nicely done by Master Leaf. A little dodge and a weave over to the left, and he is able to avoid that. Burst of these APCs will deal with pretty much all of the rockets right away, so really good focus firing there by Master Leaf to cut down those rocket numbers and to stop anything from building up. You can get in a situation where the man spam player is able to snowball you with just this cheap infantry army, but that isn't going to happen here. Instead, it's all down to the Purifier, 1 unit upon which this entire defense hinges. Orca is going to be returning to base, possibly a new airfield going to be getting deployed near the middle of the map. Marv does, the Reclamator Hub does get sold off. Did he queue his entire army? I don't know why he pulled all of those units off of here and sent them all to their deaths on the front line. Sniper teams are going to make short work of this army. Futurama intentionally feeding, and that's the GG as all of the infantry and the backline units get sacrificed. Master Leaf picks up a clean 2-0 victory here on Pipeline Problems. Here we are on Highlands. Still GDI versus Blackhand. It hasn't worked out for Futurama 2 games in a row. Now, this is a flame tank killing force if I ever have seen one. So the MCV was heading for the natural expansion, and then it packed back, or it unpacked, deployed a command post, got an airfield, and now we have Predator tanks dropping in with some Bloodhounds as well onto the main base of Futurama. Hammerheads are here. Master Leaf is just going absolutely nuts with this game. Flame tank finally arrives in the main base of Master Leaf at the same time as this Black Hand Squad. It's going to be a refinery and it's going to be a power plant at the same time on both sides of the map. It is chaos for these players. The Black Hand Squads, or the Rocket Squads, getting annihilated by those Hammerheads. And Master Leaf has to deal with Flames back at home, trying to micro his dwindling unit count on the left side of the map. And Futurama, he is primed and ready to go for that natural expansion while leveling a giant piece of the base back on the Master Leaf side of the map. 2 Predator tanks do remain, as well as a Hammerhead, and these rocket squads may finally get a couple of shots off, but it's not going to be very much, as that Hammerhead is just ready and waiting for them. Scorpion tanks and buggies versus these Predator tanks, but this blue Tiberium Harvester has actually been able to sneak away an entire load of blue Tiberium from the northern side of the map. Harvester's getting targeted down. Master Leaf doesn't target down the blue Tiberium Harvester. Instead, he goes for the weakened one, and he is still fighting this one out, but back at home, his economy is truncated. He doesn't have that natural expansion ready to go. He has done so much damage on the Futurama side of the map that he may be able to still pull something off here, but it's going to be slow and awkward as both players transition out of this aggression. More Predator tanks trying to cross the map. Futurama has so little defense back at home. This one Hammerhead has gotten so much value for Master Leaf. He has been able to deny so many rocket squads from doing anything in this game. So many times rocket squads have been produced and fired barely a shot before the Hammerhead wipes them out, and that's a Hammerhead without AP ammo. MCV down to about half health for Futurama. Master Leaf bringing the pain onto the left side of the map, and Futurama is not able to really withstand it. Meanwhile, Master Leaf, now with his natural expansion up and running, is going to be feeling good about this stage of the game. There's the GG as Master Leaf takes the 3-0 against Futurama. Small Town, USA. And we have our first switch up of the players. Futurama playing Black Hand, Master Leaf playing Reaper 17. Master Leaf is looking to end the game very quickly. This is sort of do or die for him, considering he's only got 1 refinery back at home. He could expand and go for a 2nd refinery as well if this doesn't work out, but this is sort of, let's end it right here, right now. It's going to be actually a sell-off of the War Factory, sell-off of a refinery. It is a double Hand of Nod. It is into the Secret Shrine as well for the Black Disciple, and it's a triple Hand of Nod with an MCV cell. This is all in, all out defense for Futurama. He says, we are going to die here, one of us right here, right now. And I don't care which one it is. Rockets are going to be able to knock down the portal, knock down the buzzer hive, get one of the dev tanks right from the beginning. 2nd buzzer hive does go down. Master Leaf can pivot out of this, but Futurama cannot. He has spent every dollar that he's got. He's still got 3 harvesters working away. He can't produce more after this, but he has to absolutely kill Master Leaf here, and he has to deal with these buzzers. Power plant gets deployed. A 2nd buzzer behind the building, behind the MCV. This is so difficult for Futurama to deal with. These split buzzers behind the buildings are impossible, and that's a 4-0. No hope. There will be revenge for last winter. Master Leaf finds the 4-0 and advances to the upper bracket final. Classic GDI versus Nod matchup here. Once again on Smashed Dust Bowl. Affluenza in the north playing GDI, playing that orange. Meanwhile, Bike Rush playing the red Nod in the south. He has got shadow teams, so you wonder, how is a Nod player going to be able to beat a GDI player? Ooh, does he doesn't get either squad. He's going to have to bomb out the foxhole. Okay, so he does get the bomb. Oh, the engineer gets tagged, but Bike Rush gets the kill on the engineer in the north, and the shadow team will absorb a couple of shots there. The rifleman does not eject out of the building, and that's 1 tib spike that will be captured on the left side of the map by Bike Rush owns. On the right side of the map, however, I think the engineer did get sniped, so Affluenza going to be able to stop Bike Rush from grabbing both of the spikes. Meanwhile, Bike Rush gets his safety spike, Affluenza gets his safety spike, and we'll see if these shadow teams are able to do anything else. Power plant gets deleted. Another power plant will get sniped. Affluenza once again on low power mode. It's actually Bike Rush who is sneaking the blue Tiberium. So this actually was just 4 harvesters Bike Roshon's Shadow teams getting some serious value. Scorpion tanks now going to be showing up. Power plant does get deployed, and Bike Roshon's, he doesn't need a big economy. He doesn't need a ton of units. He has enough Scorpion tanks here. The pit bulls get overwhelmed pretty much one by one. The power gets taken offline once again. Those Shadow teams find another power plant as Bike Roshon's is keeping the pedal to the metal. Gets a harvester there. Gets maybe a couple more pit bulls on exit. Not a lot of Predator tanks, but the rocket squads are going to be taking the job of those Predator tanks in dealing with the Scorps. Another power plant sniped. It's been a long time since we have seen Watchtower. Well, that's what we call a classic misclick. He is going to be moving in with either a mine drop or a vapor bomb on top of these units. It will be the mine drop on top of that war factory, and it will keep these units busy for just a moment. Bike Roshon's going to be driving over some mines with these units, clearing those mines the old-fashioned way, the very manual way, as he descends upon Affluenza's base. He's going to get himself a couple of harvesters, and he's going to get himself a Game 1 victory here in this best of 7. It's the upper bracket semifinals, and one of these players will advance on to face Masterleaf in the upper bracket finals. Bike Roshon's is looking to start his journey to meet Masterleaf in the finals here with this Game 1 victory. Bike Roshon's has a lot of Scorpion tanks, and he has a GG in his pocket, as well as Affluenza leaves game number 1. It's another GDI versus Nod game, this time on Tournament Odyssey. Does not eject out those rocket squads. So step 1, eject your rocket squads before the APC dies. In this case, Bike Roshon's does actually kill the second APC that has riflemen inside of it and not the rockets. So that APC with the rockets will get a couple of extra shots, and this does keep Bike Rush on Bike Rush's side of the map. Affluenza doesn't have to defend back at home. Affluenza isn't losing harvesters. Okay, well, Affluenza is about to lose some harvesters. He has no defense back at home. He deploys a rocket, a Hand of Nod, nope, a barracks, but it is going to be rocket squads that are a bit late to the party. So Bike Roshon's crosses the map. He gets one harvester. He can dive on a second, and it's not even going to be very costly for him. It will eventually start costing him, but it doesn't cost him anything right now. 2 harvesters down, a 3rd harvester very low. That's 3 harvesters popped, 2 of them full of Tiberium, and Bike Roshon's is running this map. That's every natural expansion harvester done and dusted. You better hope you bought their gravestones early, because they need them now. More harvesters coming in for the slaughter, more bikes moving in, and it's going to be another harvester down. Got to juke them around the war factory the best that you can. It's not the easiest task against someone like Bike Rush. It's not the easiest task with something like Kane's Wrath. Sometimes units just don't go where you want. Sometimes they just don't do what you ask, and that will be it. That's the GG. 5 minutes, and we're out. All right, onto the map. Toxicity for another GDI v Nod. Bike Roshon's, on the other hand, going to be going for the... That's an MCV cell. Bike Roshon's goes for the 1 refinery, Flame Tank, MCV cell here in game number 3. Toxicity is going to be bringing the pain. Double rockets inside of this Reckoner, and unless you already have some units out to deal with this Reckoner with the double rockets can be extremely difficult to dislodge. I love the attempt of the Tiberium silo block. It doesn't really do anything in this case, but I love the attempt of the Tiberium silo block. First harvester very low on health. Keep in mind there is a flame tank down here in the bottom as well. So the first harvester goes down. The Reckoner and the attack bike are going to be targeting down another harvester. Meanwhile, this Predator tank is just slowly but surely chipping away at these units. No buggies. Well, it is going to be a Black Hand squad. I was going to say these rockets might stand up against all this firepower, but the Black Hand squad will come in to burn down the rockets, and no buggies necessary. Harvester does get saved there but it is off the line, and another Harvester is now taking the brunt of the firepower from this double rocket reckoner. Bike Rush owns with a massive attack here in the first part of this game. Affluenza pivoting. I love the attempt, the pull of the Harvester to kill the Black Hand Squad. I love that. Great choices there by Affluenza. They're a little bit slow, they're a little bit late. And the engineer snipe. Nicely done by Affluenza. He is still going to be losing a Tiberium spike, and Bike Rush owns has rebuilt his MCV. So we're back to kind of an even game between these two players. And as soon as laser capacitors finish up here, it is going to be a massive advantage for Bike Rush owns. He's already got the Scorpion tank numbers that he can just overwhelm these Predator tanks, even though they have repairs, even though there's a Predator tank getting damage against the rear armor of Bike Rush owns. But at the same time, he's got the double-pronged Scorpion tank attack. The natural expansion gets gutted. The main base doesn't get destroyed, but both refineries down and Harvesters so low on health. And the laser capacitors never came in for Bike Rush owns. So either he wasn't actually getting that upgrade, or it just took a little while longer than he would expect. And no, what is this Surveyor doing? Almost certainly that Surveyor was a misclick, but the GG at the end was not, as Affluenza taps out of game number 3, and Bike Rush gets himself into a match point scenario. And we're here on Tournament Oasis for game number 4. The only switch up is the Black Hand by Bike Rush owns. That APC really needs to let that Rifleman catch up to it. Otherwise, these rockets are going to have a couple of free shots with significantly less anti-infantry than they would otherwise have to deal with. And actually, this Rifleman may get chewed up before they actually have a chance to get to the front line. Rocket squads will be getting eliminated by those mines, but everything else is getting eliminated as well. That's a really juicy watchtower placement there inside of the Tiberium field. Orca Strike gets called in. Will tag a decent number of those rockets. That does clean up a couple of rockets there, but there's more than enough rockets remaining. Even some of them are decoys, as they do absorb a couple of mines there. And as two APCs go down on the front line, still 30 seconds until AP ammo is done. We've got 4 watchtowers on the front line, which is a pretty serious amount of firepower. A couple of hammerheads here as well. And the APCs, there is still one still standing, down to about half HP. And only a couple of rockets remaining. Bike Rush owns is going to need another plan if he wants to win the game with infantry only. No, the MCV! It gets caught, and this is Black Hand, which means deploying it just means that the Black Disciples will obliterate it anyways. We need anti-infantry, we need anti-building, we need anti-air, and we need anti-tank. Oh, you just built one unit. It's the Rocket Squad. You get the Black Disciple upgrade, you get Purifying Flame if you really want to be good about it. If you want to actually do things right, you get Purifying Flame. But you get one unit, and it solves all 4 of those questions. Rockets are going to get traded against these Hammerheads. Hammerheads will find a couple of kills, but they also find a GG, as Affluenza had no way to deal with Bike Rush owns in game number 4. And that will be the tap out of Affluenza. He will be joining the lower bracket for the Christmas Comes Early. Meanwhile, Bike Rush owns goes on to face Masterleaf in the finals. It is finals time. Game number 1 is on Tournament Oasis once again in the north, playing the Reaper 17. This is Masterleaf. And in the south, playing the red GDI. This is Bike Rush owns. Bike Rush owns is going to have vision of this very soon. His MCV is not ready to deploy a watchtower, so it will be up to the juking of these Harvesters, and he's going to get the perfect connection on that Harvester. Another Harvester will body block one Harvester down, and a second Harvester very low, partially from running over those descents, and Bike Rush owns saves the Harvester just barely. That was incredibly close to disaster. Predator tanks, APCs, Zone Trooper, Mammoth, and Rifleman all here on the front line. Railguns have no finish, which means this Scrin army is now outmatched, outclassed, and ready to die. Get blasted as these Orcas get annihilated over top, but it's going to be a couple of Harvesters down. Bike Rush owns finding some damage on the back line while holding off the Scrin army on the front line. A couple of gunwalkers here on the front will get eaten up before the battle even really starts in earnest. That's going to be a stasis locking down 2 mammoths and the war factory at the same time. The rest of the Skrin army is going to be descending upon these GDI forces. Master Leaf needs to break Bike Rush Owns right here, right now. Otherwise, Bike Rush Owns' counterattack might be too much for Master Leaf to deal with. Ravagers here to the front line. They get chewed up by those watchtowers. Orca Strike going to be getting called in on top of the dev tanks, and everything's back online now as the railguns come back online. The hopes of surviving get lifted for Master Leaf, and it's going to be the GG as Master Leaf taps out of game number 1. Was game number 1 a mistake? You decide, because Master Leaf is going for a fast leg descent rush. APCs do get spotted at the natural expansion. Master Leaf is going to have to pivot and find something to do. It's going to be back into a stasis, into a nerve center, and into a portal, a double portal here for Master Leaf. And he's going to have to do something about these APCs, which are about to be harassing his base. He will have the option for photon cannons, and he does also have Ravagers out here on the field as well. They will be able to chew through these APCs. 1 APC down, a second APC getting taken low on health, and Harvester gets traded back, so Bike Rush Owns gets some value, and the Ravagers will clean everything else up. Not a lot of ejects happening from Bike Rush Owns. He loses a lot of the units inside of the APCs. This Harvester full of Tiberium. The agitation shot can come in. It doesn't land, though. The Harvester takes damage, and Bike Rush Owns saves it. He gets his half load of blue Tiberium. Half a load of blue Tiberium is Bike Rush's band name, actually. Hammerhead is now out. It'll chase down these Ravagers, no problem there. The great weakness of Ravagers is, of course, anti-air, is that they don't have anti-air. Shock Trooper is going to be the choice for Master Leaf. He does have the disc launcher upgrade, and, well, they're going to be able to chew through these APCs. He's going to be able to shut down Bike Rush's attack, turn it around. But, of course, Bike Rush is... Never mind. GG gets called. Master Leaf does tap out of that series, and there are only 2 replays in this final. So it's a best of 9, but we only have 2 games. Why? I don't know. But there's just 2 games. So that's it for the finals. One of these players won, and we're going to jump into the next match. Welcome to Tournament Wasteland, and welcome to the lower bracket best of 5. Between the orange GDI in the top right-hand corner, this is Affluenza, and the yellow GDI in the bottom left-hand corner, we'll see if I regret these colors, this is Bart Jones. We do have a couple of pit bulls moving in here for Bart Jones. He will be able to land a couple of shots on Affluenza's Harvesters. Return fire pit bulls will be arriving. It's a little bit late. It's 1v5 in the bottom, and this is not good for Affluenza. Affluenza about to get bodied in this game number 1. 2 series in a row, once by Bike and once by Bart. The bees are coming for you, and you better hope you can survive the sting. Another Harvester is up, and another Harvester is taking fire. It's a fresh 2 refineries, but it's going to be a fresh dead 2 Harvesters if these pit bulls aren't stopped. And it will be one final rocket to land the kill, and that'll be the end of the harass for now. Tier 3 gets sniped on the Bart Jones side of the map. Affluenza will not go down without a fight, but at the same time, it's more pit bulls moving into the base of Affluenza. Ox Transport's going to be taking a bit of fire from the watchtower, from the AA battery, and it is going to be a Harvester getting targeted down. That's another Harvester dead, but Bart Jones is paying heavily for this. He's going to be going for a second Harvester. Firehawks will exit this side of the map, and they will drop on the Orcas. They get them all on the deck as well. That's a perfect execution there. Meanwhile, the Harvester goes down on the right side of the map. The Marv steps out into a chaotic battlefield as he is looking to stop this Marv from Marvisting one field. He's going to do it with the Shockwave Artillery. It will lock down the Marv, but how much does that really do? There's a couple of Mammoth tanks that are here. There's a couple of Zone Troopers as well, but this Marv has a lot of health. and there's not that much firepower. Sonic Emitter gets deployed. More zone troopers are here, but it's going to be sniper teams onto the front line. They're going to be able to equalize the fight a little bit here. Sonic Emitter comes in as well. These sniper teams doing massive damage, cutting down Bart Jones's very expensive reinforcements, and with the railguns finishing, the Mammoths may be able to finish off the Marv, but can Bart Jones hold on to this position? He's got the better positioning. He's got the faster deployment on that MCV, and now there's no Marv anchoring Affluenza here. A couple of zone troopers will be getting sniped by these snipers. Okay, there we go. They get eliminated. Nicely done there. Affluenza return to base with those Firehawks, but it's not going to matter if he can't stop Bart Jones from leveling his base. Bart Jones' bank account has finally been emptied. After 10 minutes of this game, he has spent all of his cash, and he is ready to take Affluenza to task. It's going to be APCs and Mammoths, the only anti-air here for Bart Jones, but he is descending upon the base of Affluenza, knocking down the Juggernauts, knocking down the airfield, and Affluenza has 5 harvesters sitting nearby, but he's also got a GG typed in and ready to go. It's a GDI mirror once again. Tournament Crater will be the map this time. Orca's going to be moving in. This is 4 Orcas. They actually overspend on one of those harvesters because it was already low health, but I think they can get one more harvester. Bart Jones, do we get one more harvester? No. Okay, so he did not refuel after he cleaned up the pit bull in his base. He did not rearm. Meanwhile, on the south side, the engineer gets sniped. The Juggernaut from downtown. The Orcas are getting close, but so are the Predator tanks. It's going to be dead Juggernauts, and the Orcas turn around. They get a couple of shots, but they don't land before the MCV unpacks. The Juggernauts probably should be the priority target, but we'll see if the Predator tanks are able to deal with them. EMP fires off on both sides, tags a couple of tanks, but the reinforcements coming in for Bart Jones are going to be able to end the day for Affluenza. Goodbye to that MCV. Goodbye to these frontline Juggernauts, and it's going to be some massive damage and reset here for Affluenza. Trades out with a couple of Predator tanks, will get a couple of kills on exit, but Bart Jones will get the kill on the Husk. Bart Jones. Barty boy, kill the Husk. Fired one shot, didn't get the other one. And a couple of Predator tanks walking into the main base of Bart Jones. Affluenza finds a couple of kills, and the APC on the ground will get a kill on 3 out of the 4 Orcas. Going for 4 out of 4, but won't quite find it. MCV packs up in the face of all this firepower, takes a bunch of damage for no good reason, and Affluenza crosses the map with a couple of Predators while his Marv is looking to hold down the left side of the map. He gets some good damage onto Bart Jones, but it's not quite equal with what Bart Jones has done to Affluenza. A couple of harvesters, they were sent after their first friend died. They were like, we also want to know what the rates are on coffins. What are the going rates on a set of dual coffins? Finally, his Marv is out onto the field. He's got a couple of railguns. He's got a couple of engineers, and the engineers get sniped. Affluenza able to harvest up Marvis this entire left side field, so he essentially had a third for free, and now he can send his Marv over to the right side. He could even long distance harvest that field with his harvesters and just not worry about anything else. Shockwave artillery will be firing off for both sides. It's going to catch 5 Juggernauts on one side and the EMP on the other side, plus the Shockwave will lock down the entire army of Bart Jones. But is Bart Jones good to go? We will see. Juggernauts do get locked down. Marv makes it safely across the bridge, but where's the Marv from Affluenza? There it is, as the Juggernauts are descended upon, and the Predator tanks will find their marks. Bart Jones gets into position with his own Predator tanks, guarded a little bit by that AA battery. The power of the Hammerheads can't be matched, but the power of the Hammerheads can be pushed away by the AA battery. Sonic Emitter onto the front line. Marv's taking a massive amount of damage from both sides. The MCV does go down on the side of Influenza, and it will be a Marv still alive for Affluenza as he tries to reclaim some of those Juggernaut husks, and Affluenza should be able to snipe the engineers or the husks or both of Bart Jones. Gets himself a couple of juicy engineers, 3 engineers for the cost of 0 hammerheads. This guy has perfect hammerhead control so far. We'll see if he's actually able to keep those hammerheads alive and useful for very much more of this game. Bart Jones is being encroached on as he gets a win in game number 1, but it's not so easy here in game number 2 as Affluenza is showing himself to be a competent opponent for Bart Jones. Juggernaut on the side will be getting jumped on by those hammerheads, once again coming back from the brink of death to get another kill. Affluenza pushing Bart Jones further and further back, trades away his Marv to do it, so he better get some big damage back on the other side, and it's going to be a rig here to help anchor this army. It's going to be an exploding hammerhead kept alive for so long in this game. The rig gets demolished, and the Marv steps forward. So little HP remain, so few shots left to take it out. It's a scrappy fight down to the wire for these two players who have played themselves into a corner, who have forced this engagement moment after moment, minute after minute, and both found themselves in a very awkward, low eco, scrappy situation as the armies fall away. One side still has shells left to fire, and it's not Bart Jones as he steps up to the front line with a fresh Juggernaut right off the production line, but these boys have seen battle. These boys know what it takes to survive on the front lines of Tournament Crater, and Affluenza keeps up the pressure, keeps up the push, and he's going to be targeting down these structures one by one. Another hammerhead comes in. It's going to be another Juggernaut falling. The AA battery is nearby, but is it enough? It's not enough to save one, but it will be enough to save the other. Another rig onto the front line. The EMP will fire back, but the hammerheads get missed by that EMP. Choose your targets, and it's not enough to choose just one. You really need two to stop Affluenza in this game. Reinforcements get called in. APCs and Pitbulls have never seemed so fearsome as the MCV gets targeted and Bart Jones's front line falls apart. Affluenza keeps up the power, a couple of units here and there, barely able to overcome the entrenched position of Bart Jones. The rig moves forward, repositions. Juggernaut will get a shot back, but this allows 3 Juggernauts to get into position for Affluenza. Bart Jones, he's still got production back at home. He's still got a bit of cash in the bank. It's going to be an orbital bombardment. Bart Jones refusing to give up with a Hail Mary from space. He drops 1 Juggernaut, but 2 still survive, low on health. And the husk goes down. Affluenza so close to victory, and Bart Jones feels equally close in a lot of these moments. Supersonic airstrike comes in. It silences one hammerhead, but the other one keeps raining down fire from on high. Double vet, APC and Pred, those Bulldogs. They try so hard, and the Pitbull goes heroic, desperate to find the damage, and they find a couple of shots here. Just random units brought to the front line by Affluenza to shut down Bart Jones and to get the kill in game number 2. Affluenza springs to life, and he's barely keeping himself in this game. Definitely a good choice by Affluenza to silence this EMP once and for all. Okay, don't give up. Don't. You need to finish it off. Don't let it. Okay, all right. EMP will land. The EMP will fire back. It'll catch a couple of the APCs, but it won't stop the Predator tanks. It's going to be zone troopers as well coming in, and Bart Jones is going to find this army and kill it. He keeps himself in this game for a little while longer. The Hammerheads trading out against the APCs. The Predators not able to close the distance and kill the Juggernauts. It's going to be a minefield from the APC, and the Hammerheads have not been denied. Affluenza does it. He holds on. Are you kidding me? Affluenza, inch by inch, drop of blood by drop of blood, Affluenza is pushing Bart Jones out of this game. That shockwave artillery actually didn't do very much to those Juggernauts after all. APC goes heroic, so does this Pitbull. It's been a down and dirty fight. It's been a scrappy match from these two. The rig redeploys. The EMPs have been spent. More and more harvesters targeted down. Affluenza's heroic units are truly winning him the day. Refinery gets sold off. Double Juggernaut can kill a lot on the high ground. AA battery is here right on the edge of range. The rig's so close to death it finally falls. The repair is gone. Affluenza with so little gas in the tank, but Bart Jones with so little left to show for it. His war factory falls, so what you see is what you get. Every unit matters to the nth degree as Affluenza takes game number 2. A hard-fought victory if there ever was one here on Tournament Crater, and Affluenza turns this into a series. We're back on Tiberium Rift. It's another GDI mirror. Pitbulls will be getting caught. I don't know who's really getting caught in this situation, but one player is, as mortars have finished up for both. And it's been a long time since I've seen Pitbull mortar wars. And yeah, sometimes those Pitbulls, depending on who they're targeting with their mortars, can do a bit of friendly fire. Affluenza's defenses are very thin indeed, and Affluenza hoping that the offense would be his defense. In this case, it's not quite true because Bart Jones finds the tier 3, finds the tier 2, and forces a full tech reset on Affluenza. Double airfield is already out for Affluenza, so that is good in that sense. He at least has that already out. And Zone Troopers getting sniped once again. Affluenza with this hammerhead firepower finds damage on the Bart Jones side of the map. Tier 2, Tier 3 have been rebuilt. Marv is now out on the field for Affluenza. That's a lot of mammoths. This is a lot of mammoths and APCs. Does Affluenza have anything to stop this down here in this section of the map? APCs are okay against air, and so are mammoths, and Affluenza doesn't believe in himself. Don't cry for me, because those are the wrong kind of tears of sorrow. Because this map, Tears of Sorrow, is where Barty Boy switches it up. But not for any kind of descent rush. No fast legs on these fellas. But he is playing Traveler 59 against the one, the only, the very entertaining Affluenza. Plain orange, plain GDI. Bart Jones kind of got to do exactly what he wanted with this relatively slow, relatively passive opening from both players. Affluenza, on the other hand, goes Refinery on the low ground for his natural, Command Post and AP ammo, so he is going to have a very fast AP ammo around 430, and then he will have an airfield and a tech center finished up as well. Could be some hammerheads, might try and do orcas to cross the map, or it could be just straight into Firehawks to go for the tech snipe. He might try and Stratofighter in nearby, or no, he's just Stratofightering into the main. He's looking for it, and he will find not enough damage. 2 Firehawks went down in one fell swoop. We can expect that there will be a Prodigy crossing the map to, well, no, the Prodigy is already here, so the wormhole, I'm not sure what the gill would be there. And in this case, you've dealt with one threat, but you haven't been able to deal with the other threat. He spent so much on the air power. If he had a Marv, if he had some Juggernauts, this is a different situation. But he doesn't have those things. He does actually get the tier 3, so he will stop the tech. He will stop the production of Bart Jones. And, well, there is one Devastator warship already out on the map. Gravity Stabilizer still at half HP for Bart Jones. And Affluenza has slowed down the tech of Bart Jones, at least. Is going to be forcing Bart Jones to have to wait a couple of moments here. Overlord's Wrath comes in, and the tripods don't have much of an answer down on the ground. The Harvesters will pay the price. The Juggernauts getting not quite jumped on, actually, and those mine drops from earlier doing some damage. A couple of husks will go down to the straight Juggernaut shots, and I think only one Harvester went down. You still can't do very much if you're Affluenza. I don't know if I would be, angering the bear with a couple of Juggernaut shots, but in this case, he's going to try his luck. The Storm Rider survives, outlasts that Firehawk, and the Sonic Emitter will get a couple of good blasts off here. Harvester goes down, and the Juggernaut actually survives. I can't believe that Juggernaut survived with that tripod moving in, so Bart Jones is going to be in an awkward situation here. He has successfully denied a lot from Affluenza, but he's just going to walk away from this position. He might actually just sell off this drone ship. I don't know if he's going to try and fly it away. Rifleman, fully heroic in the middle of the map, and Affluenza has been defeated. It took a little bit longer, but Affluenza will eventually tap out there. A good showing, and honestly, some extremely entertaining games. Two of the most entertaining games of the entire tournament so far, and I'm super glad that we decided to jump down into the lower bracket to catch them. Bart Jones will advance on to the next round, but Affluenza has advanced in our hearts, making us all sick with love for him, or perhaps fanning ourselves with money, I guess, since he's affluent. We're still in the lower bracket, so these players are fighting for their lives in this best of 5. In the north, playing the Cyan, playing the Black Hand, this is Futurama. And in the south, playing the purple, playing the Scrin, it is Rex. Imagine if he had Purifying Flame, how dead that refinery would be, how dead this nerve center would be. Wow, Rex sells off his own refinery so that he can get the faster shot on that flame tank. We've got the secret shrine up and running. We've got the low power mode also for Futurama as he brings those laser turrets online. Meanwhile, on the left side of the map, it's going to be a couple of Scorpions trying to engage with these Harvesters. Going to try and find a couple of kills, but the dev tanks are here. They are charged up and they are ready to defend. And Futurama just backs on off. He says, I need to go back home and defend. I need to deal with these Mechapedes because I believe that they will end my life. Couple of Scorpions, couple of Harvesters going down. I think one Scorpion, one Harvester there right at the end as 5 Mechapedes manage to escape the base. One Scorpion gets left behind in the middle of the map there, and the Mechapedes will be able to find a couple of more kills, a couple of more Scorpions. The targeting isn't good enough to eliminate the mechas. Finally, one mecha will go down. Mechapedes looking for the turn into the main base of Futurama, and they are actually going to catch this flame tank. They do spot it right as it spawns in, and they're going to get one Harvester. A second Harvester may go down, a third. They actually could have turned around and got that Harvester easier, but they're going to go for the one that's full of Tiberium, and I can understand that for sure. Unfortunately for Futurama, he does not find very much damage. Rex feels like he is running away with this game. Futurama versus Rex. The beginning of it looked fine, but as the game goes on, it's looking more and more Rex favored. Maybe this flame tank will be the one that sneaks through 3 flame tanks. 3 more flame tanks pushing through. He will force the sell-off of the gravity stabilizer. He will get a power plant as well. He might get the stasis. He gets the stasis chamber, so that'll shut down future production, and it will also be low power mode. And this tripod not quite realizing he takes an extra couple of shots to actually kill off that flame tank, but he will eventually kill the flame tank, and another flame will get turned away from its target. Gunwalkers step forward. Mastermind is still here, just mind controlling that flame tank. It's lots of rockets to the front line, repair drones on top of this Annihilator tripod, and the flame tank will be getting shut down, but that does also free up this mastermind to potentially, okay, there's the laser fence on top of that MCV. Devastator warships are going to be moving into range of that MCV, and the ground army gets annihilated. There's the cap of the MCV. There's the sell-off as Futurama's hopes of winning game number 1 dwindle to pretty much nothing. Flame tank moving in for the 100th time, it feels like, and for the 100th time, it does nothing as Futurama taps out of game number 1, and Rex puts his first point on the board in this lower bracket series. It's the accelerator. It's pipeline problems. What's queued up over there? Airfield? Is Secret Shrine? What is he going? Secret Shrine. There we go. Starts his Black Disciples and Purifying Flame. Just saying that. And we'll see. Starts a queue. He queues up. He goes click, click, Control A, Control S. Gets them both. One will research, and then the other one just goes right after that. What? He actually is! He's doing the thing! He's doing the thing! Look! Look, it's the thing! This is, I was literally about to say, you don't have to go dual Secret Shrine and get both at once. And this isn't StarCraft, buddy. You don't need to research both upgrades at once, but he's doing it. He's actually doing it. An extremely rare combination here. And radar jamming missile fires off as well. He's actually going to get a kill on this refinery even without Purifying Flame. Meanwhile, a charged up dev tank will get a flame tank in the middle of the map, on the left side of the map rather. And oh, is he gonna, he's gonna get everything without Purifying Flame. This is the one flame tank. He cancels Purifying Flame back home. He's like, I may have built 2 secret shrines, but I don't need this upgrade. I think it finished right at the end there. It finished right at the end. Look how fast he deletes those buildings. Look at that. Futurama making Rex look like a joke. You choose Scrin, I laugh at you with my flames. My flames burn their jokes into your... Oh my gosh, he actually is killing this drone ship so fast. One Black Hand member is in range of that MCV, and he's actually doing just massive damage to it. It is going to be forcing a gravity stabilizer to deal with this. Double hive should be able to stop the pain, stop the damage coming out. But you know what would not care about a buzzer hive? Would be a flame tank. A flame tank would not care about a buzzer hive, not one bit. Get into range with the Black Hand members. Get into range. I know the buzzer hives are going to kill you, but get into range so we can see the purple flame. It won't even matter. There goes the MCV, and there goes the hopes of survival. The Foundry. No, the Foundry. I thought the Foundry got sold off, but never mind. All right, so he's still in the game. You got a couple of Cabals in here with charged particle beams, and they can delete those buzzers very, very quickly. And now the tripods cannot be dealt with because 80% of the rocket squads have actually been trapped by the stasis. So the tripods are going to be getting some free kills here. The stasis will allow these units to be surrounded. Rex has an opportunity here to kill this army, and if Futurama does nothing but build infantry, then this may actually work for Rex. Here we go. Here we go. Get the Foundry. Get the Foundry. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now there is no build queue. And because of those rockets dying, it actually is kind of difficult to deal with these Annihilator tripods. Otherwise, this would actually be pretty easy for Futurama to deal with. But because he lost all of those rockets, because his entire base got stomped by those tripods, this is actually a bad situation for Futurama. It is a bit of a base race with the flames in the south. It's going to be the tripods rushing to kill everything off in the north, and flame tanks just kill buildings faster. So as long as Futurama can buy time, he actually got out enough rockets to kill off the tripods. The gunwalkers all died, and Rex didn't even kill the MCV. I actually thought that was going to be closer than it ended up being. I don't know how Futurama got that last couple of rounds of rockets out, but he did. And now he goes Purifying Flame, and he wins his first game of the tournament. Don't keep in mind that he's won games, obviously, to end up in the upper bracket semifinal. Forget all of that, but he gets Purifying Flame. He wins the game. This is once again going to be a mirror matchup. We have Purple versus Cyan, but it's going to be double Traveler Trouble. And on top of that, it looks like Rex is going to spot these descents. One buzzer gets jumped on. The other one is going to head home. He's like, guys, you'll never believe what I've seen. These descents aren't necessarily here to win the game. They might be here to kill the Tib Spike and then get a little bit of scouting, put on a little bit of pressure, be a greed check. These descents, though, I did not see these. These are the sneaky descents that are here to win the game, and we'll see what they're able to do. The Gunwalkers have been pulled over to the left side of the map. Don't get it twisted. Rex had some defense here, but he just wasn't ready for two groups of descents to descend upon his base, and it'll be the GG as Futurama finds a swift win in game number 3. It's a mirror match once again. This time we're on Tournament Highlands. Futurama has gone full defense mode, so he's looking to shut down, but no, he doesn't get any kills. So it's going to be a Tib Spike killed in the south. I think Futurama might have one or two fewer descent squads. And a little bit of a messy fight here with the descents and the buzzers. It's impossible to tell exactly who's winning until the last descent falls, because those buzzers, they can, if they get on top of the descents, they just start instantly deleting them. But in this case, it's going to be a trade of a Tib Spike for a Tib Spike. This Harvester might just get jumped on. Futurama slow to respond. He will deploy a portal, and he will be able to jump on those descents, but they get the Harvester. And for someone who's already behind on the Harvester count, who's already behind on the economy, every Harvester matters so much. But it's going to be a trade, 1-for-1 on the other side of the map. The cross-map damage will come in. A couple of Gunwalkers going down. A Harvester as well on the Rex side of the map. Both players looking to the middle of the map for the fight. Futurama has the faster position, but he's not necessarily going to be able to hold on to this against an Eradicator Hexapod. We'll see. Oh, this Prodigy. Is there nothing to stop this Prodigy? He doesn't have anything queued. He needs to get off the ground. He needs to stop this Prodigy from capturing his MCV, and he doesn't. So that's kind of lights out for Futurama. What you see is what you get in terms of buildings. Lightning Spike gets deployed, gets some good vision for Futurama. He knows what he is going in for. And there's going to be the slow field on top of the War Factory, on top of the Stormer column as well. And this is going to be an all-out fight from Futurama. This is do or die. He's hoping to end the series right here, right now, and win the day as the Cultists find a couple of these Mechapedes. The front line disappears against the Eradicator Hexapod, but at least into the slow field, these units will be having a difficult time responding. It is a mess of Mechapedes in the main base of Rex. The Mechapedes will be able to target down these Cultists. They're going to lose a couple of the Mechas to the Storm Column, lose a couple of them to the area, to the mind control of those Cultists, and Rex falling, or Futurama falling to pieces in the main base of Rex. These Cultists causing so many problems for Futurama, and that's the GG as Futurama taps out of Tournament Highlands, and Rex keeps himself in this series. And we're on to Ruthless Serato for game number 5, our first ace match. We did it! Finally! We have done it here in the lower bracket. And it is featuring the Cyan Black Hand. This is Futurama. Meanwhile, on the south side, the purple, this is Rex. Playing Scrin, Futurama going to be putting a little bit of pressure on Rex. I like this combination. You get a couple of Cabal squads, you get the bikes, you get the buggies, and the Scorpion tank. Photon Cannon will be the choice to try and deal with this. First Seeker Tank does go down. Harvesters could be under threat after that. Photon Cannon buying a lot of time. Good control of the units by Futurama, at least on that first bike. Pulls it back. Can re-engage with it. A couple of more bikes going to be going down. A couple of Seeker Tanks getting eliminated as well. This is a lot of spending on defense, but the Harvesters were being kept safe, at least until then. First Harvester takes a bit of damage, might get a couple of repairs here as these bikes move in, and it looks like Futurama is going to get pushed back. That it kind of kind of did nothing for Futurama. This is an MCV cell as well. I didn't realize it was a double War Factory MCV cell, so he's got to do the damage. He has got to make this work. Another Gunwalker steps on out. Harvester gets targeted down, but again, what does it actually get you? It gets you an elimination from the Christmas Comes Early tournament. It gets you a win for Rex. Nerve Center is now up. Power back online. Portal is here as well. You need that portal for the photon cannons. And Rex has held this for now. Futurama is pretty much out of cash, and Rex has now outstripped Futurama in terms of economy. Futurama can't even produce from both war factories at the same time. Dev Tank is now out onto the field. Engineer is not your last hope, but it's pretty close to your last hope. MCV, oh, if those bikes had been able to get a couple of shots on that MCV, but no, it won't matter. It's the GG that comes out, and Rex will win game number 5. Defense wins him the series. And we're back to Smashed Dust Bowl for our game number 1. Of essentially the lower bracket semifinals, best of 7. In the north, playing the yellow, Black Hand. This is Bart Jones. And in the south, playing the purple, Scrin. This is Rex. I'm not sure that he'll actually be able to get any real damage done. He will get a couple of shots on a Harvester. Ooh, second War Factory gets deployed, so the Harvester may get free repairs as it is refining Tiberium. Bikes and buggies are going to be dodging and weaving with these Seeker Tanks, looking for those kills. Another Seeker Tank goes down, another bike and 2 buggies get eliminated. A trade back, 1 for 2. I thought that was a decoy army at first, but no, he just killed a real Harvester with those units. We'll trade almost all of them back. Seeker Tank's going to be moving in here. A lot of Seeker Tanks going to be able to target down one of these Harvesters pretty darn quickly. A couple of Scorpion Tanks are out here. A nice power plant for the body block, but it's not fast enough by Bart Jones, so he's going to be losing 1 Harvester, losing a couple of bikes, losing a couple of Scorps as well. Another Harvester low on health. A couple of Scorpion Tanks, a couple of buggies absorbing a lot of shots here from Rex, but the repair drones and the lightning spike are both here. Just add insult to injury. It's going to be a GG and a tap out from Bart Jones. He doesn't think he has what it takes to keep fighting. We're back on Pipeline Accelerator for game number 2. In the south, not having a good time, but still playing GDI. It's Bart Jones. Ooh, that's a big ol' mistake. Well, what is going on? Bart Jones just triple-checked that Harvester. Oftentimes you do see a player send a Harvester back at half so that they can unload, and Bart Jones almost did that, and then he didn't do it, and then he almost did it again, and then he didn't do it. And so the result is he just has 2 Harvesters lined up at the, and then he left a little bit over in that Harvester. Super bizarre. That also wasn't efficient. Super bizarre patterns here from Bart Jones, as Rex has pretty much all of the options that you could ask for. Nicely done here by Bart Jones. He is going to find the kill on that drone ship, and that is a brave squad of APCs. It looks like they are going to be getting slammed. And one of them even goes heroic. That rocket squad goes heroic, dealing with the Devastator warship, or dealing with the MCV and that Dev Tank. We do also have a Mastermind. Hopefully, ooh, Harvester going to be taking a bunch of damage as well. Mastermind is going to be used to teleport, and this is going to be a dead rocket squad. He may be heroic, but he's also in the dirt, and even the Harvester survives very low on health as he crosses one last mine there. And in this situation, unfortunately for Bart Jones, he's had a couple of good plays, but he doesn't have a ground army. So he has the income, but he doesn't have the ground army on the front lines. 2 Harvesters down right here on the front line, and the first tripod has yet to fall. A couple of them, or one of them, is low health. Predator tank goes down. Wow, Rex is going to commit even further into this. I guess he just wants to buy time for his Eradicator. blink forward on top of the Juggernauts. He'll get one for sure. The others might survive. It's a little bit awkward there as he blinked on top of that Juggernaut. The other Juggernauts do manage to escape. No EMP to get the guaranteed kill, so it will just blink away. Back up, buddy. He can get a couple of... I guess he can get some free shots here. Like, he's not going to kill the Marv unless Bart Jones really... Oh, well, I guess he can, because there is going to be the stasis shield to lock it down. EMPs do land, and it's going to be a blink forward with the EMP for the Marv, and there's the kill. The MCV gets shut down as well. It is a complete destruction of Bart Jones by the boy Rex in purple. Coming for you, Yellow. Coming for you, GDI. And as it turns out, humanity doesn't win versus the bugs and the lasers. It is the lasers that win here on Pipeline Problems. After all of that, Bart Jones does decide to switch it up. GDI isn't getting the job done, so maybe Nod will be the ones. It is still Scrin on the other side of the map. The bugs and the lasers, they go zap, zap, zap. And they win the game for Rex. He doesn't need to perform a spell or call a hex. He just wins, and he has to flex. A little here and there, and maybe everywhere. On this map and that map, he just keeps it going. Bart Jones may have an opportunity here by switching up into Nod. Well, okay, not if he gets bodied on his first Harvester. If he has to send him home with toe tags and body bags, then he won't be getting his chance to show us what's different about Nod when Bart Jones plays him. It is going to be a Harvester kill on both sides of the map. One down and soon to be two. Sacrifice the bikes, and it is okay. You need one more volley, and that's the end of that. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, it looks like Bart Jones's Harvester actually did survive the Scorpion tank, seen to that. And 3 tripods can be scary, but against this many laser capacitor Scorps, it is not nearly as scary. The Scorps will melt them, but they also can get crushed by them. Don't get crushed by them, as the lasers will burn down those... He's actually not going to go for the crush. Okay, I thought this guy would retreat, and then this guy would go for the crush, but no. Crush comes through. A couple of Scorpion tanks will pay the ultimate price for it. There's the stasis locking down 6 or 7, and a couple more will fall to the tripods as they try to exit. Disaster strikes for Bart Jones. Mastermind is here as well, so we could be seeing some mind control shenanigans that Bart Jones has to deal with. We'll see if he is given any trouble. Airy mind control comes in, and the Mastermind does manage to escape. Panic Fanatics are here, and they do get burned down on the front line. A couple of Buzzer Hives right here just to absorb all of the damage and kill any rocket squads that may be introduced into the action. Mastermind goes for the MCV. There's the sell-off, and he is going to be able to get the kill on the Mastermind, but it's too late. The MCV gets sniped once again by Rex. The capture and the sale by Rex, even with the delay, even with seeing that Mastermind on the front line. Bart Jones couldn't stop it, so he taps out and he types the GG as he leaves game number 3. If you're going to play Black Hand, then be prepared to get Purifying Flame. Bart Jones has one last chance in this tournament. Flame Tank is going to start burning down that War Factory, get it down below half health. It's going to be very, very low, especially with this second Flame Tank moving in that isn't even needed to kill off that War Factory. He's going to be going for that refinery. And a Black Hand squad inside will be forcing an engineer to respond. If you want to keep that refinery, can the engineer get sniped? Snipe it, Barty, snipe it. He gets the engineer, and now he cannot finish off that refinery, unfortunately. But I am worried about a potential counterattack. No, we don't. Nerve center, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. He gets it. The nerve center goes down as well. Refinery down, tier 2 down, but the tier 3 wasn't canceled. Meanwhile, the attack continues in the south. The lightning spike will keep things tidy up north. And it looks like things are getting a little bit messy for Bart Jones down south. A couple of harvesters on the edge of the field will be getting targeted. Scorpion tanks need to be able to engage. Laser turrets come up as well, helping to deal with those dev tanks, helping to deal with those mechapeds as well. I'm a little bit worried about Bart Jones's income, just because he hasn't ever had much of a bank. So if he's about to start spending big cash on catalyst missiles or vapor bombs, he could go for the seed Tiberium, though. That's a pretty good choice for a quick bit of cash down at this main base to extend that out, or even at the natural. Bikes and Scorpions will be able to get the kill on this dev tank, and the mechapede. No, he gets it. He finally kills off that mechapede. Okay. Gets himself a harvester, gets himself a refinery. Oh, these other harvesters haven't really taken very much damage. Tib Core is a powerful upgrade. Glad to finally see it utilized here in this tournament. 4 bikes with Tib Core. I mean, there might as well be 8 bikes. Rex is going to get sandwiched, although he is going to be doing the one really causing the sandwich here as the Buzzer Swarm support power gets called in. The Mastermind will survive, and the Gunwalkers will make short work of everything else. Bart Jones just has nothing on the ground and nothing in the tank. That Redeemer is slowly marching its way up to the north, but the MCV doesn't even need to be captured in this case. It can just be killed. The Mastermind may go down, but there is not much more of value for Bart Jones to find. The third base goes down, and with it, Bart Jones's hopes of advancing in this tournament. The GG comes out, and Rex will advance. We're back on Toxicity for Game 1 of the Grand Finals. And you might be thinking, wait, didn't we skip a couple of steps there? Well, we'll get to that in just a moment. On the left side, playing the red, playing the GDI. This is Bike Rush Owns. On the right side, playing the purple, playing Nod. Just straight up Nod. This is Rex. Rex versus Bike Rush, and yes, it is the Grand Finals best of 11. So a nice long series here between these two players, but I don't know what happened to Master Leaf. With those 2 games in the upper bracket final, obviously Master Leaf sent Futurama packing, and then I don't know if Master Leaf had some lag or had a prior commitment or rage quit. I don't know, but Master Leaf played those 2 games in the finals versus upper bracket finals versus Bike Rush and just left. Half health on that Harvester, mine deployment nice and early. Bike Buggy gets pushed away, but the Harvester didn't get brought back. It didn't get juked, it didn't get anything. And so Bike Rush Owns gets some extra damage onto that Harvester, gets a kill, finds a couple of bikes, finds a Scorpion tank as well, but doesn't find the blue Tiberium Harvester. The one thing that Rex has been able to escape with from this point is the blue Tiberium. Mines deployed in front of the War Factory as well. We got some Predator tanks, some APCs, rockets, even a Pitbull mixed in here. And Tier 3 deployed kind of on the front line. Definitely a curious choice there, but it will potentially absorb some shots. Hopefully the laser fence doesn't get broken, and it's going to be a hand of Nod to help buy some additional time. A couple of Scorpion tanks are here, but there just isn't a whole lot on the ground for Rex to fight off Bike Rush Owns with, because he's on the other side of the map with a couple of bikes, going to be getting some damage onto that MCV. Will be able to do some significant damage to the MCV, but won't be enough to knock it down. And where's the rest of the army for Rex? He's got 8.6k in the bank, and he's got nothing to show for it out on the ground. Bike Rush Owns is running for the hills. He's got an obelisk to contest with, and he is not willing to fight against that. MCV is packed back up, and the bikes are going to be getting corralled by this Predator tank. Obelisk is going to get overwhelmed. It's just one avatar. Once again, Rex has 9 grand in the bank. 9 grand that could have been units, that could have been defenses, and a couple of Harvesters are going to absorb some shots here. Honestly, that just buys some more time for some more avatars and some more obelisks to be deployed, and Rex is not going to have much left over. More Predator tanks are here, more infantry getting called in for the defense, or for the offense rather, and Bike Rush Jones is actually just going to back off. Shockwave artillery is going to be landing. So are the zone trooper support drop pods, and it's going to be 2 dead avatars right on the front line. A fresh harvester dead as well. Orbital bombardment on top of that, and the Redeemer is going to be spawning into an empty world with just not much in it. Not much that isn't red, that isn't GDI, as the MCV is still here, but everything else is being washed away. Juggernauts, riflemen, Predator tanks, a Marv, and railguns all assaulting the base of Rex and getting the first win for Bike Rush Jones on Toxicity. The first win of the grand finals, but it's not the end of this best of 11. We're back to Hampstead Gardens, and I hope this game is going to be lasting longer than the last time we saw this map. It may be still Bike Rush Jones versus Rex, but it's a switch-up. Rex goes to Scrin, Bike Rush goes to Nod. Scorpions engaging with these Seeker tanks. Seeker tanks are going to be able to push the Scorpions back for now, but this is a lot of Scorpions here for Bike Rush Jones. Lightning Spike is helping out, that's for sure, but Bike Rush Jones may also just want to fight this more on his turf, on his territory, where he's got even closer reinforcements, where he can potentially even be calling in a mine drop right there, as these Seeker tanks will actually kind of die to the splash damage. Unfortunately for Rex, losing a Seeker tank to the splash damage while you're cleaning up the mines almost feels like a cruel irony of the situation. Dozer Blades have now finished up for Bike Rush Jones, so it is Force Fields versus Dozer Blades for these 2 players, and the Harvesters are just going to make a very smooth exit. Well, all of them except for that one, and it is going to be repair drones from Rex. He's committing even more into this, but the Stasis catches a couple of Scorpions, and that's a lot of cash down the drain, so Rex really wants to get some value for this. A second Harvester does go down. Trading out these Scorpions is going to be a slowly losing battle for Rex. He's got the repairs right there on the front line, but he's also against so many Scorpions that he can't possibly win out in the long term. He gets his 2 Harvesters, and he better have a really good follow-up plan after this. Lasers have now finished up. That upgrade makes these so much better, makes the Venoms better as well, and out of the haze, out of the fog, comes a wall of lasers. Guess what, aliens? You have lasers, we've got them too. Go for the crush, because that is your hope. This is so many Scorpions that have been macroed out by Bike Rush Jones. He's down 6k in total resources gathered, but it doesn't matter because he's got the army that matters. And this mastermind is just running through the army, being lit up time and time again by those Scorpions. And that MCV is on the high ground. Bike Rush Jones is going to show up to the base, and he's like, where do I go next? You go into game number 3 with a 2-0 lead. And that will take us to Tournament Wastelands. Scorpion's going to be moving in. They're going to be able to find a couple of kills here. This is partially a distraction play for the Flame Tank in the south. A couple of Scorpions going to be working their way through, and they are hoping to kill as many Secret Tanks as they can. I mean, hey, if you can end the game right here, then you end the game. But at the same time, you got that Flame Tank in the south, and this is a distraction for that. Flame Tank now going to be moving in, gets the split. He force fires the ground between the 2 structures, and the tripod steps out, so the tripod will get the kill on the Flame Tank, but not before the Flame Tank ends both structures. So good night to that War Factory. No! Are you kidding? He doesn't stick around. He doesn't go for any kind of a build. Did Rex truly not notice that? He might not have noticed that that Flame Tank was actually there. Lightning Spike will now deploy, but Lightning Spikes don't detect stealth. Okay, well, the Flame Tank actually just killed it anyways. And now the Flame Tank will die to the tripods as soon as they get close. And there we go. kills 2 refineries and a war factory with 1 flame tank. Somehow, Bike Rush Owns finds the perfect angle that most players can't. I mean, if he needs to buy time with EMPs, he can research EMP coils for the Raider buggies, and he can start EMPing units. He actually already has. He's got EMPs on these Raider buggies. Stasis shield comes in. There's a couple of tripods here, but there's still so many Scorpions outside of this area. The Eradicator Hexapod gets caught on something. I actually don't know why that Eradicator is just sitting around, but there's going to be the EMP. The phase lands at the same time, and it's going to be a couple of descents moving in to try and defend this area. MCV is done. That is going to be good night to the Scrin build radius here on the front line. Photon Cannon is here. Shard Launcher upgrade is here as well. But Bike Rush Owns just will not be stopped. Another EMP lands, and the phase does keep the Eradicator alive, but it's also useless when if all of these Scorpions just drive away from it and they kill the whole base while the Eradicator is EMP'd and phased. And another EMP will lock it down for even longer. Your phase keeps them alive, but your base pays the price, and Bike Rush Owns will go up 3-0 against Rex. It's a switch up once again here on Atacama Road. Rex goes to Traveler, and Bike goes to Black Hand. Flame tank on the left side gets spotted immediately. Fortunately, Bike Rush Owns does have multiple flame tanks, so that is something you do need to worry about. 4 flame tanks moving around the map. That is not great for Rex. He's going to have a lot of burning to stop. 1 flame tank does get eliminated. Second one will get jumped on. Second one will get jumped on. Second one will kill a stasis chamber. No, he doesn't kill the stasis chamber. If he had Purifying Flame, it would have killed the stasis chamber. Third one will find its mark. The War Factory is going to go down. No way to stop that. And the refinery will take some damage, but the flame tank should die first. Hard to tell. Flame tank will go down, and the Purifying Flame would have killed that refinery. This flame tank is a sacrificial lamb, apparently. I don't know what's going on there. Flame tank drives right past the power plant, gets a little bit more damage on that refinery, but ultimately it's kind of fine. 5th flame tank finds its way into the natural expansion, will get the stasis chamber, finish the job that the other one started, and then die promptly after that. 6th flame tank finds the kill on the refinery that the other 2 started, and then dies slowly after that. Purifying Flame would help burn down those buildings that much more quickly. 1, 2 more flame tanks at least moving out there for Bike Rush Owns, and the flame tank goes double vet, but will not do more than cause debt. It does get eliminated, and another goes down. Bike Rush Owns splitting so many flame tanks in every direction. Double Tip Spike gets eliminated by a triple flame tank on the right side. Meanwhile, on the left side, the flame tank did go down or did survive. Either way, there's another flame tank right there, and that's the end of that harvester, but it's the end of the secret tanks as well. The flame tanks do get captured by a cultist squad as well, and he's going to target down his own units with it. Black Hand Squad, or Purifying Flame, would help burn down that building a little bit faster, and Bike Rush Owns is going to be keeping up the pressure. 10K per minute, spending every dollar. Area Mind Control will turn 1 flame tank around, but guess how many more flame tanks there are to bring to the front line? It looks like the answer is at least 1 more, and he's going for the double nerve center. Oh no, Rex getting a little nervous here, rebuilds 2 nerve centers here as the flame tank does get mind controlled, and the MCV is safe for now. Hopefully we can see Rex blink forward with that Prodigy, get the kill, get the capture on that MCV, and find a way back into this game and back into this series so that he can stop the pure aggression that is coming out from Bike Rush Owns. Shredder turret on the front line, gravity stabilizer going down, Devastator warship low on health, and at least the flame tanks seem to have stopped. Buzzers coming in, and Bike Rush Jones just doesn't care. How is it that Buzzers, mind control, and everything else isn't enough to stop a couple of infantry from Bike Rush Jones, but it thwarts everyone else and just kills them off? Bike Rush Jones is actually down 7k in total resources gathered against Rex, but guess who's going to win this game? I don't think it's the guy with more money. I think it's the guy who just killed an MCV at 8.5 minutes into the game. Hey, is that 2 more flame tanks? I think it is. Would be cooler if they were heading across the map with Purifying Flame. Fully heroic, one of these rocket squads is fully heroic, and now they're going to start burning down these buzzer hives. Rex, on his last legs in this game, doesn't really have anything left. He's got a couple of portals. He daggers a Savage Gravity Stabilizer and a Refinery, so technically if Bike Rush Jones left for 15 minutes, Rex could rebuild. But it won't happen. The GG comes out, and Bike Rush Jones picks up a 4-0 lead in this series. Rex has some runway left, but it's turning into an aircraft carrier. There's not a lot of space. It's the accelerator map once again. Rex up here with a foundry, double refinery there, and down south, Bike Rush Jones, no crane. Gunwalker moving out down the left side of the map. Don't turn around. Come on, Scout! You don't know what he's doing. It's Bike Rush. He could do anything. Scout him. Oh no, the Gunwalker is trying to deny the Scout. He's trying to deny the Cabal Squad from being annoying in his base. And that's great. That's fine. But you should know that there's a flame tank coming, and you should know as far out as possible. You shouldn't find out. What are you doing? No! He's not even paying attention. The nerve center is here as well. There's another flame tank in the middle of the map, so this isn't even the only one. This flame tank is also a distraction for the next flame tank, which is a distraction for the next flame tank, which is a distraction for this flame tank, which is heading for the refinery at the main, heading for the stasis, heading for the MCV, and this is just a distraction for this flame tank, which is a distraction for this flame tank, which is a distraction for this flame tank, which is a distraction for this flame tank. And the refinery does get targeted. Imagine how much faster it would die to Purifying Flame. I can see it in my head. Your body blocking a refinery with a nerve center. The game is already lost. When you're at that state, things have gone from bad to worse, and the flame tanks move in, and Rex moves out. We're on Smashed Dust Bowl. Bike is up 5-0. Match point is now here. We have got ourselves Black Hand versus Traveler once again. So Rex will commit to the left side of the map. He is going to try and go for the kill on the engineer. And what? No, he does get the kill on the engineer. Okay, all right, okay. He doesn't get it. Bike Rush Jones loses his engineer, but Bike Rush Jones may have also noted the spot where that engineer was, and yep, he sees it. Bike Rush Jones is targeting down a war factory with Cabal squads. You've got so many Cabal squads left over from the beginning of the game, but at least the Seeker tank does find the first flame tank. It hasn't found the second flame tank yet, and it also hasn't found the third flame tank just yet. But the first flame tank he does know about. But he doesn't know about the secret flame tank, or the third flame tank, which is really the fourth flame tank. Second flame tank coming in right down the middle. Bike Rush Jones isn't even trying to hide these because he does get the kill on that war factory. Does at least stop the engineer from producing, so at least Rex doesn't also spend the cash on the engineer. And Bike Rush Jones, he goes straightforward macro for 3 or 4 games in a row. And now he is just going full on flames. The earth will burn, and it will be cleansed in the fire. War Factory comes in. Portal is here. Also, 1 photon cannon. One photon cannon gets deleted, and this refinery will take a ton of damage. This flame tank will be stopped, though, but not this flame tank. That flame tank will actually get through, and that flame tank killed a refinery. So Rex is in a pretty bad spot. No refineries and no flame tanks. The true weapon of winning is a flame tank, as the GG gets called, and Rex has been defeated in game number 6. Bike Rush Owns passes through this tournament and gets the win against Rex, defeating all who stood against him from the upper bracket all the way to the grand finals. And that will do it for the Christmas Comes Early tournament. Big thanks to everyone who put this one on. Big thanks to the players for participating. I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Sybert signing out.